what up, YouTube gang? It's your boy Bookoostrikes, and we are returning back with Pokemon Yellow Zero EXP Part 2. In the last episode, we took on all the gym leaders, and now we are here to fight the Elite Four and our rival. So I just want to give a quick shout out to those who are subbed to the channel. Thanks again for your support. It really helps the channel. And if you do enjoy the video, drop a like, drop a sub, and tell your friends about this. Tell your friends about my channel. Word of mouth is very important and it's very powerful. And with that, let's get to fighting our rival. So this is the last rival fight before the Elite Four, and we're gonna lead off with Starmie, and it's a Sand Slash against a Starmie. We're gonna Quick Surf. At this point, our team is very efficient and very powerful. We could take on our rival's team very easily. He sends out an Execute, Grass and Psychic, click Ice Beam. It goes down. I'm surprised he didn't evolve it yet. Very surprising he didn't evolve it yet. Cloyster is a bit trickier. You can either use Electrode or Starmie. See, that Thunderbolt, that took 255 out of 256 miss. And I'm very surprised that finally happened to me. This is the first time it's happened to me this entire run. If you didn't know, in Gen 1, attacks are coded in that they have a chance to miss even if they have 100% accuracy. It's specifically they have a 255 out of 256 chance of missing the opponent. And that happened to me. And in case you can't even tell, I'm not even invested in this battle because this battle is just so easy. Well, maybe except this part. He does have a Magneton, and at this point, I mean, we could use our Electrode to take him on. But now that I'm thinking about it, looking back to recording, I don't think the Magneton has an electric move at this point. I know the final fight he has Thunder, but I'm not sure if he's gonna use an electric move this fight. But regardless, we could just have Snorlax Self-Destruct. By the way, I picked up the Self-Destruct TM somewhere and taught Self-Destruct to Snorlax, as he is a very good user of it, as he does gain same type attack bonus from it. The Kadabra, to be honest, the Starmie does okay against him. The Snorlax would have been much better because he has higher special, not higher special, but higher HP. Unfortunately, we do get hit with the unlucky crit from the Kadabra from the side beam, and even more unluckily, he decides to go for Psychic instead of sticking with Side Beam, and he gets another critical hit while we're sitting here with 0 critical hits, and as a result, we have to send an Electro to clean up the mess. Thankfully, Thunder does hit, and we are able to select the KO on the Kadabra. And finally, he's going to lead off with Flareon. Normally, Starmie would have been the best candidate because Starmie does outspeed Flareon and does not take neutral damage from fire attacks. Unfortunately, Cloyster does take neutral damage from fire attacks, and Fire Spin is a clamping move. I'll be honest, if Cloyster didn't dodge that Fire Spin, I have a feeling we would have lost this battle because he needed to have hit that Surf so that Electrode can finish off with a Self-Destruct. Well, I guess, I don't know why I went for Thunder Wave first, because it really doesn't make a difference. Like, look at this, we got trapped. Imagine if Flareon didn't get fully paralyzed. That would have been a disaster. Thankfully, he goes for Leer. Honestly, I could have just went for Self-Destruct and I probably would have KO'd the Flareon regardless. So, we do defeat our rival, and now we can go to the final stretch of Victory Road. But Victory Road, to be honest, you don't have to fight any trainers in Victory Road. So instead, I'm going to show a montage of me preparing for the Elite Four, while you can listen to me ramble on about this challenge and just things in general. So before I do continue, I do want to note we are going to catch a few party members to take on the Elite Four. Firstly, I'm going to update our team by catching a level 47 Graveler, which I did not record for some reason. There's the Graveler. I'm not sure where I put the footage. I guess I forgot to record it, but Graveler does come with Earthquake in the when you catch it in Victory Road level 47. So we don't have to waste our Earthquake TM. Not that we're going to use it anyways, but it's just very useful. We are going to teach our Pokemon a number of moves to update them for the Elite Four. For example, Graveler is going to learn Rock Slide to be able to take on the flying types that can't be hit by Earthquake. And we're also going to be teaching Snorlax Toxic, I believe. And we're also going to be giving Electrode Explosion. Explosion is a very nice TM. That will be, oh, I don't know why did I try to teach Graveler Earthquake? He already has Earthquake. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just teaching a bunch of TMs to my team to try and get them for Elite Four. Electrode having Explosion is very, very nice, as it does allow him to get off a nice final move against a lot of Pokemon, such as the rivals Alakazam, who, to be honest, when I was doing my research for this challenge, I was looking at the last rival fight and his Alakazam, and I'll be honest guys, I thought this challenge wasn't going to be possible. I mean, think about it, it has Psychic, it has Recover. I mean, what else do you need from an Alakazam? It has Psychic and Recover. Like, Psychic is gonna blow away the entirety of my team if I don't get a chance to move. And even if I do get a chance to move, it's just gonna use Recover. And that's when I realized that as long as we can outspeed the Alakazam, as long as we can cripple it before it starts popping off, we can potentially win. And that's the main reason why my Electrode does have Thunder Wave, and also why it has Explosion. Because it's gonna have to eventually be able to cripple down the Alakazam, because it's gonna blow away Cloyster, blow away Snorlax, blow away Graveler, blow away Poliwrath. The highest Psychic type level Pokemon we could probably obtain at this point in the game is probably an Execute. I mean, we could evolve it to the Executor, but what's a level 29, maybe 30 Executor gonna do to a level 63 Alakazam? Nothing. That's what it's gonna do. Absolutely jack. So that's why we have done that. And also in the Celadon store, we're also going to be using up all our money. Well, 80% of our money is going to go towards our vitamins to help boost our Pokemon stats, because as I said, I have no idea what the stats of the Elite Four are, and the last thing I need is for my whole plan to go in shambles because we couldn't outspeed an Alakazam and we just have to soft reset and go back and make some more money. So I'm just trying to figure out what to talk about because I'm just trying to buy time. I think I'm going to cut this part out. Yeah, I'm going to cut this part of me not knowing how to buy time. I have a lot of footage of me just preparing. I don't know why I recorded this whole thing, but yeah, we're going to cut that out. I was supposed to talk. Oh, I remember what I was going to talk about. So from the previous video, you may have seen that I do mainly show me winning the battles. The only battle I really showed me losing was the Koga battle. And that's because, for the most part, Generation 1, as much as I love it, it is very exploitable, especially with the AI. You might even see a little bit of that exploitation down the line as we're fighting Elite 4. To give an idea of my gym leader battles behind the scenes, Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge, and Erica were... No, not Erica. The first three gym leaders all took my first try, as I did do extensive amount of preparation. Erica took me 2 tries, only because I got really lazy. My Fearow got poisoned from the previous battle, but I thought it could take on the 3 grass type Pokemon, which is Fly. Turns out Fearow is not that strong, and I did succumb to the poison and couldn't continue the battle. Koga, as you might have seen, took me, let's say 20-30 tries. I mean, that Venomoth is a demon, so that's understandable. Sabrina was my first try, Blaine was my first try, and Giovanni was also my first try. So most of these battles were first tries. Oh, that Rocket Grunt that I was talking about by Cerulean City, that took me a good 15 tries. In fact, I was very close to quitting that run because that Rocket Grunt was going to make me pull my hair out. But yeah, Generation 1 is very exploitable in terms of its mechanics, and you can get away with a lot of things because even though Yellow is the definitive version of the two, it still does suffer from squeaky and terrible AI, outdated movesets that don't make sense, Pokemon that are not fully evolved that are level 50, like, come on. Level 50 Execute? Come on, man, you can do better than that. So I think at this point, there's nothing else for me to talk about. You guys are probably waiting for Elite 4 to start, so let's just skip ahead to Elite 4. And alright, so we're at the Elite 4, and because we cannot use items we're not going to be able to use items in the battle, but we do need to heal between the fights. Trust me, we're going to need to heal between the fights. But yep, we're going to take on the Elite 4, and the first of the Elite 4 that we're going to take on is Lorelei, the Ice User. Lorelei, this was also one when I was doing my research that made me think this challenge might not have been possible, but thankfully once again Electrode did come clutch and I was able to figure out a strategy to take down Lorelei. So Lorelei is, as it says, the Ice type gym leader, Elite 4, and she's gonna lead on her Dugong. As you can see, the level disparity here is insane, but regardless, we are gonna persevere. So we start off with a Thunderbolt to try and get some chip damage in. Unfortunately, that looks like a clean 3-hit KO, and something I do want to note, oh yeah, look at all these critical hits these guys keep getting. I do want to note that I did opt to teach Electro Thunder as opposed to Starmie because Electro does benefit more from getting the stab bonus from Thunder as opposed to lower base power of Thunderbolt. So that's why I opted, because if Starmie was an electric type, I would have given Starmie Thunder, but Electro does make better use of it. So we took down the Dugong, and at this point Starmie is not looking very good. Starmie is already bagged up from fighting one Dugong, and I already know that this Thunderbolt is not good to be able to KO this Cloyster in one hit. Even, yeah, look at that. Even through a critical hit, it's not a one-hit KO. Like, that's how you could tell this Elite Four run is going to be brutal. These level differences do make a big difference in how we get our damage in. So we send in our Poliwrath. I'll be honest, guys. I just wanted to. I chose Poliwrath because I like Poliwrath. I think it's a cool Pokemon. You could use a second Cloyster. You could even use a second Starmie instead of a Poliwrath, but I just like Poliwrath, so that's why I chose Poliwrath. So we're gonna send in the Electro to take on the Slowbro. Hopefully her Slowbro doesn't go for a Psychic move, because that would be pretty bad. We are gonna lead off with Thunder, and to be honest, this does not look like a 2-hit KO. Oh, look at that. See, that's what I mean. Electro benefits a lot more from Thunder as opposed to Starmie, because that stab bonus boosts Thunder from 120 to 180 power, plus the super effective damage boosts up to a meaty 360, as opposed to Thunderbolt, which is only 95 base power. Stab bonus, I should have double, that would be 180, sorry, not 180, 190, and stab bonus would be 275, I think, I don't know. Anyways, Jinx comes out, and Jinx is pretty nasty, but for some reason, Loreley's Jinx knows Thrash, which is admittedly pretty weak. So we're just gonna go for the immediate self-destruct, and honestly, I wasn't expecting it to KO. I didn't think Jinx's defense and HP were that bad that a level 30 Snorlax would just explode and eliminate that Jinx, but hey, it works out. And lastly, she sends out her Lapras. Lapras is not too threatening. Well, I lied, it's pretty threatening. It has a meaty HP stat, so this part of the fight might take a bit. And it goes for a Body Slam. Thankfully it didn't go for any of her water moves or ice moves, if it has any. I didn't really do too much research into that. Unfortunately, we're just shy of the KO, and she just had to go for Confuse Ray. And honestly, I didn't want to risk hitting myself, so I decided to just send in Poliwhirl to get in the last hit. She does go for a Super Potion, not a full restore. I mean, guys, we're at the Elite Four and we're not using full restores, but whatever. I try to go for submission and I miss. But thankfully, Poliwrath does survive the Body Slam, and he does get paralyzed, but he is able to get a submission, and he lives with 1 health after the Rico damage submission. And with that, we have defeated the first Elite Four, and that was not too bad. It did get very ugly in the beginning, but now we're going to move on to Bruno, who uses quote-unquote fighting type Pokemon, but you know, there's not a lot of fighting types in Gen 1. In fact, there's not even enough to make a full team, because he could have used Primate, but then he'd have one more slot. Anyways, he leads off with Onix, and the Onix is surprisingly lower leveled than her Dugong, Loreley's Dugong. That's strange, but the reason why I left with Poliwrath as opposed to Starmie is because I didn't know if Onix would outspeed the Starmie, and I didn't want Starmie to take too much damage in this fight. And I also want to preserve the PP uses of Psychic and Surf, because we do not have a lot of Ethers and Elixirs. I didn't go hunting for them that much, and you can't buy them in stores. So he does opt to go for his Hitmonchan, and we're going to send in Starmie, because it is a fighting type, and Starmie has Psychic, so we're going to try and hopefully get the crit, and maybe go for an 1-hit KO. The Hitmon family in this generation, see, in the other generations, the Hitmon family have great special defense, but in Gen 1, because special is tied by both special attack and special defense, the creators of Pokemon didn't want these fighting types to have high special attack, so they gave them low specials to compensate, which means the Hitmons are pretty bad in this generation. As you see here, both of them immediately fold to 1 Psychic, which is admittedly pretty sad, but hey, what can you do? So we're going to send him back to Poliwrath to conserve the uses of Surf. This Onyx is slightly higher level, but it is more or less the same Onyx. They both are just going to use Rock Slide. I could have sworn they had Earthquake, but hey, I'm not judging. You do what you gotta do, Bruno. So we're just gonna wash away the Onyx with the 4 times powerful Surf, and it does go into KO. You know, I took English class, and for some reason I keep messing up. It does KO, and now he's gonna send it to Machamp, and we're gonna finish off with Starmie. And you can see here the level difference is starting to get pretty polarizing, even though we are getting the super effective Psychic. Because of the 18 level difference, it's barely a 2-hit KO, and he goes for a submission, and because of, once again, the very high level difference, submission is pretty much practically a 2-hit KO from Machamp, which is why it's good that we do outspeed him, because otherwise this fight could have gotten very ugly. So we finally defeat Bruno, and Bruno, we had no casualties, so yeah, once again, Bruno, you gotta step it up, man. Your team's pretty pathetic, even when you update it in yellow. So next we're gonna face off against Agatha. And Agatha, when I was doing my research, I thought to myself, you know, her Gengars can get pretty trolly, but I think for the most part, we can probably sneak in a win here and there. Shouldn't be too bad as long as we don't get hacked to death. So she is gonna lead off with their first Gengar. And Gengar is very fast. In fact, Starmie is probably not going to outspeed the Gengar. Yep, did not outspeed. And immediately goes for a Mega Drain, which is, I mean, it's not the worst. It's better than Hypnosis, because Hypnosis would have just been super trolly. And Psychic, I don't even think Psychic 2-hit KOs. Oh, it does. Oh, never mind. That was a critical hit Psychic, and that did not even 1-hit KO, which means Psychic is going to be a 3-hit KO. I know I'm going to need Starmie for the rest of the fight, so I decided to just send an Electro to try and get in a hit, and Agatha cheats and goes for a Confuse Ray instead of just going for the obvious Mega Train. Electro does slap himself, or he rolls into himself. I don't know how he does that, but anyways, he does snap out of Confusion, and we are able to get the KO on the Gengar with their critical hit. I think that would have KO'd without the critical hit, but I mean, looking at the psychic damage, I'm not sure anymore. So she sends in her Golbat, and we missed the first Thunder. Great. He goes for Toxic. Honestly, at this point, that's probably the best he could have gone for, because he could have gone for Confuser and made this really bad. So we get in one Thunder, and do I get the crit here? Nope. So that's going to be definitely a 2-hit KO. Let's see what the Golbat goes for. Leech Life. 20 base powered bug move. It's pretty pathetic at this point in the game, but that's what you get for giving your Pokemon bad movesets, Game Freak. So Golbat does fold to a second Thunder, and now we are almost halfway done the battle. For some reason she has a Haunter instead of just 3 Gengars. I guess Agatha didn't really take classes from Lance from GSC. Yeah, more on that in the GSC Zero Experience Challenge. Ooh. Anyways, we do go for the second Haunter. Thankfully Haunter is slower than Starmie, but it is still a 2-hit KO. In Generation 1, Psychic types are immune to Ghost Attack, so that Haunter going for that lick was pretty funny when I was first doing that, the recording. So Haunter does go down without a problem, and now she's going to send in her Arbok. Arbok, I'm guessing at this point it's not going to be a full 1-hit KO because, I mean, look at the level difference. Yep, as I said before, it's not going to be 2-hit KO. Thankfully she goes for a Super Potion instead of just attacking me. But as you may or may not have seen, our PP is running out for a Psychic, and I forgot to punish it before the fight, and that's going to actually play not a major role, but it's going to make the fight slightly more annoying. She pulls up with a level 60 Gengar, and this looks bad. So we're going to outspeed the Gengar. This is why I gave my Electrode a bunch of Carbos, so that we can outspeed threats like the Gengar and cripple it down to make it easier for a team to deal with it. And we're gonna try and go for some lucky pot shot Thunders. I also forgot to punish Electrode's Thunder, so we only have really 2 left, and after this Electrode cannot damage the Gengar at all. Thankfully, Gengar makes our job a little easier and just kills the Electrode for us with Psychic, so now we can send in Starmie and try and kill the Gengar. But if you learn anything from the first Kanka that we fought, that Psychic is going to be doing no types of damage. That's probably a clean 4-hit KO at this point. See, look at that. That was a critical hit Psychic. That was a critical hit Psychic, and that barely crossed to a KO. At least we got the special drop, so I was hoping to myself that Surf after the special drop would KO, but that did not happen. Thankfully, she went for Hypnosis and missed, so now we can just try and end the fight. I got super greedy and went for Ice Beam, thinking that would KO, but obviously it didn't work out, so me and my infinite greed have to replay this part. She goes for Dream Eater, which... See what I said about the AI just not doing its thing sometimes? You know, I guess she's programmed to go for Hypnosis and then Dream Eater no matter what. Oh well. We defeat Agatha, and that wasn't... It was pretty... No, I'm not gonna cap. That was pretty bad. That was a pretty ugly showing. And now we're going to deal with the last member of the Elite Four, Lance of the Kanto Elite Four. You know, it's funny. He's not even looking at you. Look how he's talking to you. He's not even looking at you. Does that show his arrogance or his stupidity? Nah, who knows? Maybe we'll see after the battle ends. So he's gonna lead off with a Gyarados. And this part of the fight, this is where it starts to get kind of unreliable, because if Starmie's Thunderbolt does not KO Gyarados, I've tested it, it doesn't work. Not that I tested, another user tested it, it doesn't work. So Thunder from the Electrode has to hit. This is another reason why I taught Thunder to Electrode as opposed to Starmie. Electrode's Thunder is stronger than Starmie's Thunderbolt, so that Thunder has to hit, or else Gyarados is going to pull up with that big pump or Hyper Beam. So he's going to send in his Dragonairs, and we're just going to go for some Ice Beams to try and take it out. I wanted to save Cloyster for this part of the fight, and we do get the freeze on the Dragonair, so whatever move is going to go for, it can't go for it anymore. In Generation 1, if you get frozen, unless you get thawed out by the move Haze of all things, you're not thawing out naturally. Unless you use an item, of course, but you know, you can't use items in battle. So we go for a Dragonair, and look at that. That was a critical hit Ice Beam, and that did even 1-hit KO. That's sad. Anyways, Lance is probably the first trainer to pull up with actual items, and he goes for Hyper Potion, and we get another critical hit, but unfortunately we get wrapped, and it's gonna hurt. Not too bad, but it is kind of annoying to get wrapped. It just prolongs the fight more than it needs to be. So we take down the Dragonair, and at this point he's gonna send in his Aerodactyl. This is one of the reasons why I brought Graveler. Graveler does very well against Aerodactyl, considering Aerodactyl only knows Rock Slide and Fly as its most threatening moves. Oh, and Wing Attack, as you can see. Yeah, this could be doing no types of damage. Sadly, Graveler's Rock Slide is not going to be a 1-hit KO, but that's fine. I know Graveler can take on Aerodactyl no problem. And he's going to go for Fly and waste our time. Does that rhyme? Fly and time? Nah, whatever. Yes, he's going for Fly to waste our time. Doesn't really do much damage, but I mean, it could KO if we kept missing Rock Slide, but we're built different, so we're not missing Rock Slides in this generation. So Graveler does get the KO on Aerodactyl. And now we're going to take on the Dragonite. So the Dragonite is level 62. I mean, I think for most players, when they're kids, the Dragonite is pretty threatening. As you can see here, this 4 times Ice Beam is barely a 2-hit KO, and that was spooky. I did not know Dragonite knew Thunder. That could have gone very bad very fast. My backup plan is Starmie to get thundered was to just send an Electrode to go for Thunder Wave, followed by Explosion, or Snorlax explodes, but either way, we get rid of Lance, and now we can finally face our rival for the final showdown. Will his level 60 Pokemon prevail over our level 40s and level 30 Snorlax Hero? Find out next time on the... we're gonna continue on with the video. I wouldn't do that to you guys. So, the rival is going to pull up with a team of 6, and they're all fully evolved with decked out movesets. He's going to start off with the Sand Slash, and this thing's level 61, so we're definitely not going to win a KO. And we would need a crit to win a KO Sand Slash, because thankfully Sand Slash's defenses in the special side are pretty bad. We do get that critical hit, and to be honest, if we didn't get that critical, this fight could have probably started off with an ugly note. But there's the ugly note that we start off with. Alakazam just pulls up level 60. Oh, I thought it was level 60. Level 59, ready to just smack anyone in his path. Another reason why I bought all those Carbos for Electrode, so we can outspeed this Alakazam and just cripple it right away. He goes for a preemptive recover because I don't know why I did that. So to preserve Electrode, I try to switch to the Snorlax so that I can have Snorlax explode. Unfortunately, Alakazam awesomely gets a critical hit on the Snorlax and just takes it out outright. Very embarrassing show. Not a good look for our team so far. We're gonna send in Electrode, and we're just I think I went for self-destruct or explosion. Yes, okay. I was smart enough to go for explosion. I didn't want to have to make Electrode explode. Snorlax was supposed to be the one to explode, but the plan didn't work out as intended. Get the critical hit explosion on Alakazam. I think a regular explosion would have killed the Alakazam, as it is very similar to Jinx in terms of its defenses, but at the same time, it doesn't get stabbed, so who knows. Anyways, Executor comes out, and you know something about Gary's Executor? Its only damaging move is Barrage. So, and oh, here we go. Okay, so one thing you gotta know about the AI, some trainers' AI have an AI behavior where they will only go for moves that would be or are super effective against the opposing Pokemon. So in this case, because Leech Seed is a grass type move, Executor is programmed to only, and I mean only, go for Leech Seed, as Leech Seed is the only grass move Executor knows. So Executor is unfortunately stuck in an infinite loop where it will only use Leech Seed, which means technically that's a free kill for us as long as it's run out of Leech Seeds. Because I guess once... Oh, no. I just remembered, in Generation 1, trainers have infinite power points, so Executor is actually trapped in a never-ending loop to using Leech Seed for the rest of the battle. And you'll notice I'm not commenting on the fact that those critical hits are barely doing a quarter, and to be honest, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, Executor is very tanky. Executor has very high special and very great at HP, so the fact that my Ice Beams are barely doing a quarter, even with the critical hit, doesn't surprise me at all one bit. And to preserve Ice Beam usages, because I'm realizing that Ice Beam is not doing the job properly, I'm thinking Cloyster would do the better job with Blizzard. This is the rare case where I'm actually using the Ice type move on Cloyster. That didn't do the trick, but thankfully it puts it in range of Aurora Beam, and we get to finally get this attack on Executor. Now he's going to go for his Magneton. Now I know for sure his Magneton has an electric type move, and this is also the reason why I brought Graveler along, so I can just go for that clean, beautiful Earthquake. And because Graveler is immune to his electric attacks, all I can really do is use Swift. Or Sonic Boom. I think I know Sonic Boom, but who cares. Graveler is just going to nicely get some Earthquakes in. I don't know why he went for Thunder. He went for Thunder Wave, but you know, that's the AI of Generation 1. So Graveler gets the clean Earthquake on Magneton, and at this point we are set on a course to defeat our rival. He does have a Cloyster, which annoyingly knows Clamp, so we are going to want to make sure we take out this Cloyster before it gets too crazy. This is another reason why I wish I had the Electrode alive, because I know this Thunderbolt is going to be doing no types of damage to this Cloyster. Yeah, see, look at that. Oh, even it goes for Spike Cannon, but unfortunately Spike Cannon is kind of decently powerful. I don't remember the base power of it, but hey, we're 23 levels under, so that is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. We do get the lucky critical. Is it really lucky at this point? Start rate's pretty fast, but whatever. We get the critical on Cloyster, and now for his final Pokemon, the Flareon. So I said that I wanted this. Now initially, I wanted Poliwrath to get the glory kill because I just like Poliwrath. What I didn't know was that Flareon knows Reflect. And if you remember what I said 5 minutes ago, when a Pokemon on the opposing trainer's team knows a move that is or would be super effective against you, it will only go for that move. And unfortunately for Flareon, Poliwrath is a Psychic type, Reflect is a Psychic move. Therefore, Flareon is stuck in the never-ending loop of using Reflect, anticlimactically making this battle literally an accidental AI exploitation of this game. So Poliwrath is going to be getting the glory kill of the final fight of the game. He only has one full restore. Wow, okay. So Poliwrath is crowned the MVP. Well, no, that's not true, but he does get the final KO of this run. And with that, we have defeated Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy with 0 experience and no legendaries and items in battle. Overall, what I thought of this run, it was very entertaining actually. Even though it was kind of easy at a lot of parts of the game, I did thoroughly enjoy the research aspect into developing a strategy for the upcoming battles, especially for the Elite Four. When I saw his Alakazam, I really thought this challenge was not going to be possible, but after doing some more extensive research and figuring out how to use certain moves that I wouldn't normally use, like just exploding on the opponent, I realized that, yeah, a lot of these challenges are possible. You just gotta expand your mind and, think of some creative strategies. So I do want to thank you guys for sticking with me through this challenge. This was very fun to do. Next up is going to be Pokemon Crystal, and I'm very looking forward to what is going to happen in that game. Trust me, I've done my research in that game, and I looked at the first gym leader, and I was already doubting the legitimacy of this run. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you out. Buku out. Peace.